Well, look at lesson 6. We're talking about equivalent ratios. Equivalent ratios are basically exactly the same idea as equivalent fractions, except for now we're talking about ratios, which of course can actually be expressed as a fraction, so not really different at all in in the way they are used. Slightly different perhaps in concept, because often when we talk about fraction, we're comparing a part to a whole all the time. When we're talking about ratios, we don't have to be. We can be comparing part to a part. At any rate, equivalent ratios are obtained by multiplying or dividing the terms of the ratio by the same number. So just like if you have a half, for example, you can multiply the top and the bottom by 2, so times 2 and times 2, it's equal to 2 quarters. It's also equal to 3/6. It's equal to 4/8. As long as you multiply the top and the bottom by the same number, it's the same thing. So the same idea here, we're going to write 4 equivalent ratios to 5/7. So let's do times 2. So times 2 times 2. So 5 times 2 is 10, and 7 times 2 is 14. So this is times 2. We can do times 3. So 5 times 3 would be 15. 7 times 3 is 21. Okay, I could do times 5 if I wanted. So 5 times 5 is 25. 7 times 5 is 35. I could do times 100. So then I'd have 500 to 700. So I can pick any number multiplied. I couldn't divide these because these are both prime numbers, so they're both only divisible by themselves. So I wouldn't want to divide. However, in example 2, 4 equivalent ratios to 18:6, now if I want I can divide, because I can divide both the top and bottom, both sides by 2. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. 6 divided by 2 is 3. I could divide them both by 3. So 18 divided by 3 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. In fact, I could divide them both by 6. And 18 divided by 6 is 3, and 6 divided by 6 is 1. Okay? So those are 3 options I have to divide. That's all I could really divide by. So let's now multiply by something. We'll keep it nice and simple. Multiply by 2. 18 times 2 is 36. And 6 times 2 is 12. So there's 4 equivalent ratios to 18:6. So if I had 9 of one thing and 3 of another, I would have a 9:3 ratio, which is the same as an 18:6 ratio, which is the same as a 6:2 ratio, or 3:1, or 36:12 ratio.